Could you just talk us through Erling Haaland's performance, please?
5 goals. Yeah, I was, what can I say? So the numbers of this season, the problem with this guy is every time we don't score 2 or 3 goals, we'll be criticized for the next of his career. This is the reality. But yeah, I said many times, he was a joy of guy, and his mood in the locker room, always happiness, and built or give to all of us, and he's a huge competitor. The mentality is there, and he scores 5 goals. Always is not easy.
Is that the hunger? Is that the thing that allows him to score many goals? You've managed so many great players, great strikers. He scored 39 goals already. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, and most of the times when I score hat tricks and whatever, after 65 minutes, I make a substitution. So the numbers, but not just here and everywhere. So just today he scored 5 goals, and I think he touched 30 or 35 ball contact. And this is what we are looking for, because I had the feeling when you are involved in the game defensively, offensively, when the ball comes to score a goal, you are more clever. You are more precise because you are on the game. It's difficult to score a goal. He can do it, but it's difficult to score a goal when you are 40, 50 minutes and you don't touch the ball. And sometimes it's his fault, because sometimes he doesn't move. For example, in Crystal Palace, I said to him, "So you didn't play good today." And but the other is our fault. For example, in Leipzig, when we played there, when we couldn't find him and we didn't find him in the second half. But sooner or later, we are talking about, we are working a little bit, and everyone, because we try to make the process sometimes quicker. I always, I think, have to be slower, but once we break the holding midfielder, we have to be more quicker. And sometimes the people think, that it depends on the lineup. We are going to play slowly, or we're going to play comfortable. And our mentality always have been so aggressive from the day one. And sometimes we cannot do it because the opponents always are there.
Erling seems to love this stage, in particular the Champions League. Is he the perfect big game player in that sense?
Listen, I in the French interview I said before, always we have a score goals here in the Champions League. We scored 4 goals against Madrid. We scored 6 against Monaco the first year. We scored 4 against Tottenham Hotspur here. The problem was not that I had the feeling that we don't score goals. The problem is that we concede stupid goals in the past. We give them. Most of the cases we give them. And in this competition, and one of the reasons why, for the build-up, for many things, but they play the 4 central defenders in that way, that doesn't mean you are a defender team, because still the people, it's difficult to understand, when you put it some line up and say, no, it's going to play in that way. Tell me how the opponent to play, and I will tell you how you're going to play, and I know my team. But they are so solid. So Nathan is so focused 90 minutes. They are stable here. Ruben, Manu, they're so stable here. It doesn't matter what happened there, and they're John as well. And that we need in these competitions, because today the chances we had, we give them. So with Eddie, with some process, we have to be careful of that. We have to do it, but we have to be careful. Because most of the teams, because in terms of goals, since I arrived, with Sergio, with Gabriel, with many teams, always we score a lot of goals.
Did you see then a step forward today from the team? Did you see a team that you believe now can compete?
Because we won. The selection of the team, why don't play Riyad? Why don't play Phil? Why don't play Laporte? Why don't play that? Now, like you won, I'm right. I lose, I'm wrong. So it's not about that. I have a lot of info that all of you, the fans including, don't have. You have experience. I have experience than players and whatever. So 2 weeks before, we were not ready against Leipzig. What a disaster second half and whatever. Yeah, maybe we don't play the level we play, but they play at home away in the Champions League is completely different. So with the pressure, the many things we have to consider it. In that game, we need a slow game. We didn't have Kevin, was illness, so we can make a transition quick with Kevin. We cannot do it. The other ones, we need a more controlled game. I didn't want a transition against Leipzig because it happened. Today I can accept it. You make an incredible. We adjust something in the first game, like we struggled to contact the central defender with the fullbacks. They drop us. Today Bernardo Jack defend that pass incredible well. That's why Raum and Fredericks could not contact and drop us. and that helped us, because but sometimes you have to play one game to realize the things. I'm going to say the first game leg was wrong. Absolutely not was wrong. It's because I didn't help them today. You have to close that pass, and Bernardo is fucking intuitive. We play Bernardo because with the left side from Leipzig is amazing with Guardiola and Ram. He has ability to make an incredible build-up. And Bernardo had the ability to know exactly press 3 players in 2 movements. There's no one player in the world can do that. No one. It's not the physicality. It's so intelligent. And that's why he played. He said, I will play Real Madrid. I have more info, my friends. Like the Twitter guys or like the older people. I have more info. I'm sorry. So that's why. So I'm sorry. I'm right. Today I'm right. Stood me a light. I'm right.
Just one, please. I will ask around the
Hi,
room.
Hi, Pep. I spoke to Erling and he said that he told you when you subbed him off that he wanted to stay on for a 6th goal. He could have been the first
Yeah, I
in the
know.
Champions League history to score.
Yeah, but if he achieves these milestones at his records with 22, 23 years old, will be boring his life. So now I have a target to do it in the future, here and everywhere. So that's why I make a substitution. I didn't know it was with Messi, with Leo, it happened against Leverkusen. They told me in the flash interview. But I make a substitution because normally when the game is over, I want to let them play as much play as possible.
Hi Pep, you told Kevin that you wanted him to go back to basics. He was very good tonight. What did you think?
Kevin is a player for dynamic. If he is dynamic in his movements, he's not a player like he can play in his top level. He's not a player like receives the ball in the pocket, stop, and the other one. He's a guy who outside, inside, attack here, attack there, make a transitions. I press high, support from Bernardo, from Erling, his intensity to have. This is the player that he knows. And sometimes we said, Kevin, we know that. I know cannot play all the time in that position, but he has to understand his physicality because when it happened that, the assists come free, the goals come free. But he doesn't do that after he lost an amount of balls and provoke transitions for the opponents. And he doesn't make assists and he doesn't score goals. So I'm going to discover Kevin De Bruyne. After 7 years together, I did that with you. I'm going to tell you how an incredible player he is. But in periods, sometimes you are, like I said many times, ups and lows, something like that. But when Kevin is right and left and I'm moving here, and now I close to the central defenders to set the ball. I'm in the box. I arrive and make the transitions. I move there. Kevin is heads off, but he has to realize because when that happens, he doesn't lose balls. And he's aggressive with the ball and help us to make the high pressing. And the people say, he has to play Kevin De Bruyne all the time. Yes. Do you think I'm stupid to in that level he's not going to play? He was not playing that way. Sometimes you have to sit and realize. Bernardo deserves to play. Gundogan, goodness, the best time midfielder that we have this season. And when don't play Bernie, what's the problem? So they have to compete each other. They have to reach the highest level as possible. Otherwise, there are another players going to play.
Ask a couple in English, guys, and then we'll take one in German over here.
Hi, Pep. You obviously have many reasons to be happy tonight, but can you point out one reason that makes you most happy than the others?
No, everything was a real good game. It's not necessary to be a manager to realize everyone wants it. So even in the first minutes, we didn't score. Always have one regret is our build-up is still not good. We didn't move perfectly, and we concede some actions that in this competition they punish you, and you have to be careful of that. But with 7-0, I don't have many complaints to the team.
Hi Pep, it's 6 consecutive quarter-finals now. No other team in Europe has that record in that time. How proud of you of that record?
I'm a failure in Champions League. So don't worry. Listen, I'm going to explain a secret. So whatever happened this year in Champions League, winning, even if I win this Champions League, we win this Champions in 3 Champions League in a row, I will be a failure. I'm going to tell you something. I have 3 idols in my life: Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Julia Roberts. Okay, these are my 3 idols. So for obvious reasons, Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods is not it. And Julia Roberts as well. So Julia Roberts years ago came to Manchester. Not in 1890 with Sir Alex Ferguson win the titles. Came in the period like we were better than United these 4 or 5 years. And he went to visit Man United. she didn't come to see us. So that's why this is, even I win the Champions League, will not be compared for the fact that Julia Roberts come to Manchester, they don't come to see us. So my idol. So that's why whatever happens, even I win the Champions League, will be compared for the disappointment I had. So that you have to know it.
Just over here, please, last one. No, we're good? Any more? Are we happy? I think you've got your line.
Thank you guys.